Hello colleagues, welcome to Tutorials with I. So my name is Prince Owusu, a level 200 business administration student, and today I'm here to take you through the correction of errors. So we have a question here. So correction of errors. So in the business sense, we always record certain things, which is our cash, our inflows and outflows of what? The cash. So when we are recording, we are human beings. And there's a saying that we are born to what? Mistakes. So human beings commit certain mistakes. And that is what? The error. Error is the same as what? Mistakes. So error is what? Error in accounting means the mistakes that an accountant make in the process of recording accounting what transactions. And we have what so many types of errors, and we going through this question, I will identify most of the errors to you. So we have errors that affect the trial balance, the agreement of the trial balance, and we have errors that do not affect the agreement of the trial balance. Now we have heard about suspense account. What does it mean? Suspense account is a temporal account that is opening to identify or rectify errors in accounting transaction when errors are what? When errors occurred. So why are we saying it's temporal but not permanent? It's temporal because after everything that you do, your suspense account has to balance itself. You don't have to go and balance it to have carried down and then what? Brought down. It will balance itself. That's why we are saying that it's what? Temporal. Because you don't need it brought down for the balance sheet or the trial balance. So this one is what? Temporal. And the errors that affect the agreement of the trial balance, we have error of casting. So the casting, we have overcast and what? Undercast. So you may be in a situation where you are supposed to record maybe 2,000, and because of maybe unforeseen circumstance, you record it what? 20,000. So this is what? You have overcasted this amount. And we have a situation where you can also record it as what? 200. So this means you have what? Undercasted this amount. So this is the real amount that we are supposed to record, but we ended up what? Recording this. So it means you have what? Undercasted the amount. So we have to what? Correct the error. And we have what? We have an error too that we call error of single entry. In accounting principle, we all know that we have what? The double entry principle, which is in accounting, any transaction affects two accounts, which is one has to be debited and one has to be what? Credited. We credit the giver and we debit the receiver. So single entry means we didn't record for the other one, so it's going to affect the agreement of the trial balance. And we have another one to which we call error of calculation. We all know human beings, when we are calculating for certain things, we make mistakes, and later on we come and find out. So when you make mistake, maybe plus, and you do it maybe minus, you make a mistake and your agreement of the trial balance won't agree. And we have error of what? Partial reversal. The partial reversal simply means that you have this. So let's say we have purchases and we have what? Sales. Sales always have what? A credit balance. So let's say we are recording sales of what? 20 cedis. So 20 cedis. Now, sales and purchases, these are the two accounts that we are supposed to record. I'm explaining the error of partial reversal. So this is what we are supposed to record, sales and purchases. These are the two accounts. And once I've credited this account, I have to debit this account. But instead, I ended up what? Crediting this account too. So you see that this 20 cedis has been at what? The same side of the two accounts. So this will make it what? Partial reversal. I hope you are getting me. Partial reversal. So if you are correcting this error, since purchases were supposed to be what? Debited and we credited, we have to what? We have to cancel this. And I told you already in my first video that in accounting, we don't cancel. We don't do this. No. But rather, we record the same amount at the other side to what? Cancel it out. So what we have to do is, when we are correcting this error, so we will record 20 cedis here. So this 20 cedis will cater for this. It means the balance that we are going to get is what? 0. Then later on, we will do the correction. This has been what? Credited. Then we will come and what? Debit this account. So at the end, we will have what? 40 cedis here. So this 40 cedis, so it will be what? We have 40 cedis and we have 40 cedis. So our carry down will be what? 20 cedis, and our brought down will be what? 20 cedis. So it means we have gotten what? Our 20 cedis back at where? The debit side. So that's what? Error of partial reversal. So let me go through these questions with you, and whilst we are going through, we will identify the errors that do not affect the agreement of the trial balance, and also errors that do affect the agreement of the trial balance. These questions didn't come in the evening students theory, so please try as much as possible to take it serious and learn it with examples. It may come. So let's go to the question. It says that Mensco Limited had its total debit exceeding the total credit in the trial balance as at 31st December 2021 by 10,000 Ghana cedis. The following were revealed during investigations. So we have A. Sales had been overcast by 12,000. B. Discounts allowed had been undercast by 3,000. C. Purchases of 7,500 Ghana cedis had been credited towards purchases account. And then insurance paid by cash of 18,996 Ghana cedis was recorded in the cash book as 8,396 cedis. E. A payment by a debtor of what? 30,000 Ghana cedis by a direct bank transfer had not been entered in the debtor's account. F. Salary of 6,000 Ghana cedis had been recorded in sundry expenses account. You are required to what? Show the necessary journal entries to correct the above errors. 2. Or B. Prepare the suspense account. So, as I said, suspense account are the what? The temporal account that we use to correct errors made during what? The recording accounting transactions. So, the first thing that we are coming to do is what? Our journal. So, we have our journal. Okay, so we have our suspense account here. So suspense account. We have our Ghana cedis here, and then our Ghana cedis also here. Now, let's come to the journal. So the journal we have and also we have this. And we have this. So here is our Ghana cedis, which is the currency sign. We have our credit side and what? Our debit side. We have our particulars or what? Details. So you have to choose one. Either particulars or what? Details. We have our credit, we have our debit, and we have our what? Particulars or details. Choose one. Particulars or details. So this is what we are having. And now, the question is saying that what? Mensco Limited. So we are coming to record anything here under what? Mensco Limited. So we have our what? Mensco Limited. Don't forget, Mensco Limited. So anything that we are doing here is under who? Mensco what? Limited. Now, we are coming to start. The first one. Now, this one is English. Please pay attention. Mensco Limited had its total debits exceeding the total credits in the trial balance. So the trial balance that Mensco Limited prepared, this was the difference that made us know that the following errors were what? Occurred. So this is what Mensco Limited had its total debit what? Balance or total debit exceeding the what? The total credit. So let me do a simple example for you here. So we have our what? Trial balance like this. So that one too, we have our debits, credits, and we have our what? Particulars. And we are saying that the total what? Sorry. And we are saying that the total debit exceeded the what? Credit, the total credit in the trial balance by what? 10,000 Ghana cedis. So it means the total what? The total debit here exceeded. So we're having what? 10,000 difference here. So this is the meaning of what? The English. The total debit exceeding the total what? Credit balance. So this is the meaning. We had 10,000 difference. So when we come, we have, let's say we have what? We have 50. We have 50. And right now we have what? Difference of this. So it means this is what? This is 10,000 and what? 50. And here we only have what? 50. So the difference is what? 10,000. So the difference, since always trial balance has to balance itself, we have to put this what? We have what? We have noticed that this is the mistake that we made. So we have to put this 10,000. We have to put this same 10,000 here to this side for it to what? Balance. So we will put another what? 10,000 here. Then we will also get what? 10,000 and what? 50. So this is the meaning of the English. So it means the total debit balance was exceeding what? The credit what? Balance. So the balance that has been given to us, which is what? The 10,000, we will put it at the credit side of the suspense account. So at the credit side of the suspense account, you come and then you do your difference in trial balance, which is what? 10,000. Please, when you go to the exam, so don't write this shortcut for the examiner. Because of space, that's why I have written it like this. So this one is what? Difference in what? Trial balance. Difference in trial balance, which is what? The 10,000. So I'm done with the what? The preamble. So let's come to the question itself. We have sales had been overcast by what? 12,000. Now we have our sales account to be like this. Sales. We always say that sales has what? A credit balance. So our credit balance here has been overcast by 12,000. So it means we have what? We have increased the amount by 12,000. So this has been what? This is the 12,000 that was increased. So we are correcting this error since it has been overcast. So we have to what? Cancel this what? 12,000. So we have to what? Debit sales account by what? 12,000. For you to what? Cancel this 12,000 as well. So overcast of what? 12,000. Then we have to what? Debit sales account by 12,000 to cancel this error. So obviously that. So you will debit what? Sales account by what? 12,000. So debiting sales account by 12,000. It means sales account. And sales account will affect what? The suspense account, because it was what? Overcasted. So it made what? It made one of the side of the trial balance what? Increased. That's why we had the difference of what? 10,000. So sales 12,000 will go to the what? Suspense account. And here, sales was what? Debited. So it means suspense account will be what? Credited. So we have sales debited, suspense account. Suspense account. And the amount is 12,000. 12,000. Now, someone will ask, why is it that is it not in the same what? Line, but rather this has what? This has shifted, or we have a paragraph here. In accounting, always the debit account is always at our left hand side, and then the credit will be at where? Our right hand side. So you see this difference. When an examiner or an accountant sees this recording, the accountant or the examiner will know that, okay, so it means sales account is rather the what? The debit, and then the suspense is what? The credit, before coming here to what? To know it. So this is accounting principle, and this is what you have to what? Do it in the exams for. So after that, we have corrected the error. So you have to what? You have to write the narration. What happened? Right now that you have written this, what happened? So you have to start a narration by what? Being sales overcast, comma, now corrected. So this is it. Then you underline it what? Neatly. Please don't say that you have lines in your what? Booklet, so you won't underline. Use your ruler and what? Underline. When you are going, please go with your ruler. And remember, suspense account has been credited here. So you go to your suspense account and then you do what? You credit it in the name of what? Sales. So in the name of sales, we have what? 12,000. So we are done with the first what? Transaction. Now, the second transaction says that discount allowed had been undercast by 3,000. Discount allowed. Now, we have our discount allowed account. Discount allowed. Discount allowed. we all know when you go back to your cash book, discount allowed has what? A debit balance. Someone will say that, hey, discount allowed, I'm giving someone a discount, so it means I'm the one paying. So it has to have what? A credit what? A credit balance. It's fair enough to think that way, and no one is saying that you are wrong. But in accounting, we have our principles. We have certain ways that we do our things that no one can change it. So discount allowed has what? A debit balance. So in accounting, that's the principle. Discount allowed has what? A debit balance. So don't relate it to what? Real life, like I'm giving someone discount, so it means I'm going to pay the person. No, discount allowed always have what? A debit balance. So this one, it has been what? Undercast by what? 3,000. So the figure that we wrote here, the debit what? The debit balance that we wrote here, we have reduced the figure by what? 3,000 Ghana cedis. So it means we have to add the 3,000 to what? The discount allowed, which is what? The debit side. So let's say we are supposed to record 5,000 and we ended up what? Recording 2,000. How are we going to do to what? Make it 5,000. It means we have undercasted this by what? 3,000. So we add the 3,000 what? Here. When you add the 3,000, you get what? Your 5,000, which is this. So you debit it by what? By the 3,000. And discount allowed will be what? Debited. So this is how we are going to what? We are going to record it. So we have our discount allowed account. And discount allowed account will affect the trial balance because we reduce the figure. So it will what? It will affect the trial balance. So it's what? The suspense account. We will credit the suspense what? Account. Suspense account. The figure is what? 3,000. So we are done with this. Now you come with your narration. So the narration will be being discounts allowed undercast. Now corrected. Please don't forget these narrations. It's just simple English. Don't go and write vocabularies. Simple English for the person to what? Understand. And you don't have to what? Miss it. Don't omit it. You have to write it. So then you underline this. Now, when you look at this transaction, suspense account has been what? Has been credited in the name of what? Discount allowed. So you go to your suspense account, then you credit your suspense account in the name of what? Discount what? Allowed. So discount allowed. We have a discount allowed to be what? 3,000. So we are done with what? The transaction 2 or the B. Now the C. Purchases of 7,500 has been credited to the purchases account. So this is what? Error of partial reversal. And it will affect the what? The trial balance. So it will affect the suspense account. So we all know purchases account has what? A debit balance. Now, the figure 7,500, we were supposed to record it at the debit side because purchases has what? A debit balance. But we ended up what? Recording it at the credit side. That's the error that we have what? We have made. So we have to correct it. So this is the error. 7,500. We have to correct this error. So the first thing that we are supposed to do is to cancel this because this one is error. We don't need it here at all. So we have what? Our 7,500 to what? Cater for this. So when we cater for this, it means we have the balance to be what? 0. Now we have corrected the error. So we have to do the necessary what? The necessary requirements. Or we have to record the original what? Entry. And the original entry is what? 7,500 to the what? The purchases. So purchases has to be what? Debited. So we have to add 7,500 to it for us to what? Get. So this one will what? Cancel this and then we have our 7,000. So let's balance the what? The account for us to see that we will get the 7,500. So here it will give us 15,000 and here 15,000. How much will you add to what? 7,500? That will give you 15,000. That's what? 7,500. And that one will be what? Your carry down. Your carry down will be the same as what? Your brought down. So 7,000 what? 500. Now, if you go through what? If you go through the question, you know that the 7,000 that we were talking about, that we were supposed to debit, instead we credited. We have gotten our 7,000 at the what? 7,500 at the at the debit side already. So this is how you are going to what? We are going to correct error of partial reversal. You will double the figure. You will double the figure. Error of what? Partial reversal. So you will debit purchases by what? 1,500, which is these two. So 1,000, 15,000 what? Sorry, it's 15,000. So you what? You will debit these two, which is 15,000. So purchases account will be what? Debited. Purchases account, and then it will affect the what? Suspense account. So suspense account, and the figure is 15,000. 15,000. So what error did we corrected? So the transaction is purchases of 7,000 had been credited to what? To the suspense account. So sorry, the purchases account. So this one we know the error already, which is what? Error of partial reversal. So being error of partial reversal, comma, now what? Corrected. Then you underline it what? Neatly. So when you come here, suspense account has been what? Credited. So you go to your suspense account, credited in the name of what? Purchases. So purchase 15,000. So you have your 15,000. Now, when you get here, don't get confused. If in case you are solving a similar question and you get here, don't get confused because, hey, I have recorded 4 transactions and everything is at the credit side. I don't have any debit side. No, don't get confused. You just go through the question. After everything, then you balance it. Don't say that it won't balance regardless. Because looking at the question, you only have what? D, E, and what? And F. So someone will say that, oh, it won't balance. No, just finish the question and then you will balance it and see whether it will balance or not. So the next one that we are going to talk about, is insurance paid by cash of 18,000 was recorded in the cash book as what? 8,000. So this one we are going to what? Deal with cash. When we pay the insurance 18,396, we recorded it at the debit side of the insurance because insurance is what? An expense. And cash was given to the insurance, so we will credit the cash account. So the cash account is this. This is our cash account. And we are making payments. But instead of the 18,396, we wrote it what? 8,396. So it means we have undercasted the what? The figure or the amount. So this is the original what? Figure, and we recorded it what? This. So how are you going to what? Correct this error? The first thing that you are supposed to do, remember cash always have what? A credit. Sorry, when you are making payments, cash have what? A credit what? Balance. This is what? The payment side. So you calculate. We recorded this 8,396, and it's supposed to be what? 18,396. So you subtract this 8,396 from the original figure, which is what? 18,396. Then the difference that you get, which is what? The 10,000 that you what? You get. Then you add it to what? You add it to it because you are paying. We just what? Undercasted the figure, so we just have to add it back. So you add what? The 10,000 back, and at the end you get what? 18,396. Please, they understood. So with this one, cash has been what? Credited. You understand? Cash has been credited. So suspense account will be what? Debited, because cash account was what? Undercast, and it will affect the trial balance. So suspense account will be debited. Suspense account will be debited, and the cash account will be what? Credited. Cash account with what? 10,000. So we have what? The narration will be what? Cash being cash accounts undercast. Now corrected. So this will be your figure, then your narration, then you what? You underline. Now, suspense account has been what? Debited. So you go here and you debit your suspense account in the name of what? Cash. So cash, the amount is what? 10,000. The amount is what? 10,000. Now, you go to the what? The next one. You go to the next one. So the next one, which is what? The E. Payments by the debtor. Who is debtor here? Our customer. So the customer has made what? A payment to who? To us. We are receiving. The customer is what? Giving. So let's assume you have a what? Our debtors account. Debtors always have what? A debit balance. So debtors account. And right now the debtor is rather what? Paying. So when the debtor is paying, it will be at the debtors what? At the debtors credit side. And right now, the amount paid, listen to this, a payment by a debtor of what? 30,000 by a direct bank transfer had not been entered in the debtor's account. We have recorded it in our cash account already, or our bank account already, that we have received 30,000 from the debtor. So in our bank account, we debited the 30,000, but we didn't write this. We didn't record it in the debtor's account. Debtor is what? Paying. So debtor is paying how much? 30,000. So the 30,000, you have to what? Credit it in the debtor's account. We didn't record it, so it's what? We omitted only the debtor's account, but we recorded it in what? In our bank account. And this one will what? Affect the agreement of the trial balance. So it will deal with what? Suspense account. And right now we are what? We are crediting the debtor's what? Account. So we have to debit the suspense account. So when you come here, we have what? Suspense account. Suspense account. And we have our debtor's account, which is what? 30,000. We have what? 30,000. Now, the narration. It was only debtor's account that was omitted. Bank recorded it. So, being debtor's account omitted, comma, now corrected. Then you what? You underline. So here, suspense account has been what? Debited. So when you come here, it will have to what? Debit it in the name of who? The debtor. So debtor. You have your debtor to be what? 30,000. So we are done with this transaction. Now let's go to the last one. So I told you that after everything that we do, what to show that what we did is right is the suspense account will what? Balance. Now, the F, which is the last question. Salary of 6,000 had been recorded in sundry expenses account. This is error of principle. It does not affect the agreement of the trial balance. Why am I saying that? Let me explain this. So we have our salary accounts and we have our sundry expense accounts. Now, salary of what? 6,000 had been recorded in the sundry expenses account. It means we have paid for salary. We have paid for salary. So cash is what? Cash is given, which is cash. Cash is giving what? 6,000. So cash, in the cash account, we recorded it what? Correctly. But instead of us to record it in the salary account, we ended up recording it as well. Sundry expenses at the debit side. At credit, debit. So 6,000 at the debit side. So right now we have to correct this error. Error of principle. We are supposed to record it here, and right now we have ended up recording it here. Though is what? The transaction is the same, but the account is what? It's wrong. So what we have to do is, we have to cancel this account and then record it here. So when you are canceling this account, it means you have to credit sundry expenses by what? The 6,000. And then you will debit salary account by what? The 6,000. So that sundry expenses will be what? Will have zero balance. The balance of the sundry expenses will be what? Zero. And then the salary account will what? Will have its 6,000. So that's the meaning. So when you come here, when you come to the journal, so the journal, we have what? Salary what? Salary account what? Receive. So we have salary account. Sundry expenses what? Will be given to what? Salary. So sundry expenses account. So we have what? 6,000. And we also have what? 6,000. Now, this 6,000 that we have, then you come, the narration will be what? So the narration will be being error of principle now corrected. So then you what? You underline. So this one, because salary was supposed to be debited, but we ended up what? Debiting the sundry expenses. Remember, salary is an expense, sundry expense is also what? An expense. And it's always, the two of them have what? Debit balance. So it means, though we have recorded it here, which is wrong, but it won't affect the agreement of the trial balance. Why? Because this figure, we are expecting it to be the debit side of the trial balance. And when we record it here, it will still be at the debit side of the trial balance. So it won't affect the agreement of the trial balance. And with this, the suspense account won't come in. So we are done with the question. Let's come and balance our suspense account. Remember, I told you earlier that if the suspense account refuses to balance itself, then it means what we have done here is what is wrong. We have to cross-check it again. So the suspense account has to what? Balance itself. Now, let's balance the suspense account and see whether what we have done is what? Right, which is the suspense account balancing itself. So here, 10 plus 30 will give you what? 40. So 40 what? 1,000. And now you come here. 3 plus 12 will give you what? 15. 15 plus 15, 30. 30 plus 10 will give you what? 40. And this one to 40 what? 1,000. Now, the suspense account has been balanced itself. So it means everything that we have done here is what? Is right. Why are we saying suspense account is temporal? Remember, we have done with this account. This is an account. If you are going to use it again, then it means you have to use it in the trial balance. And in the trial balance, we only use what? Something we call the balance brought down. Balance brought down. When you account have a balance brought down, then the account will be what? Permanent, because when we are looking at it in the trial balance and we see a certain figure, then we'll be like, okay, so where from this figure, then we refer to this account, that this, we had this figure from this account. But here, we don't have any what? Balance brought down that we are going to use it to any recordings again. So it means this has become what? Useless. We won't use it anymore. So it has balanced itself. So always it's temporal. Right now it has balanced itself. It's useless. We won't use it again. So we can always what? Forget about it. So it means what? It's temporal. Just something temporal. It's not permanent. We won't need it for anything. So this is the reason we are saying that a suspense account is a temporal account that we use to identify or correct errors in the process of recording accounting transactions. So this one, this is error of what? Error, correction of errors. So the errors that do affect the agreement of the trial balance, I mentioned error of single entry, I mentioned error of partial reversal, I mentioned error of calculations, and I mentioned error of casting. The casting, we have two types, which is what? Error of overcast and error of what? Undercast. So with this one, you have them. If you have this 4 or 5 errors, and you can explain them because I explained everything to you. And the errors that do not affect the agreement of the trial balance, we have about 7 or more. It's many. We have error of omission. Omission means you didn't record it at all. So it won't affect any trial balance. It won't affect the agreement of the trial balance. The trial balance will balance, but you won't get the agreement. You understand? So you didn't record the transaction at all. Error of commission. Commission means because of name similarities. So let's say we have what? Deborah and Deborah. So me recording a transaction for Deborah, then I ended up recording it for what? Deborah. That's what? Error of commission. And that one, if I was supposed to debit Deborah's account, I'll end up what? Debiting Deborah's account. So it's at the what? Debit side. So it means error of what? Commission. That's the name similarities. And we have what? Error of principle. Error of principle means it will be at the same side but different what? Account. That one, there is no similarities in the name. So let's say vehicle and vehicle repair. So the repairs, repairs is what? Vehicle repair and then what? Vehicle account. So the repair is an expense and it's what? Receive. When you what? When you buy a vehicle, you also what? Debit it. So expenses always have what? A debit balance. So instead of repairs, we ended up what? Debiting what? vehicle instead. So that's what? Error of principle. And we have error of what? Complete reversal. So with the complete reversal, let's say we have the purchases account and then we have sales account. Sales have what? A credit balance, and purchases have what? A debit balance. But we ended up what? Debiting sales account and what? Crediting purchases account. So error of what? Complete reversal. That will not affect the agreement of the trial balance, because at the end, the same figure will be here and will be here. So it will what? Affect the trial balance. Instead, we have made what? A mistake, which is what? Error of complete reversal. So these are also 5 errors that I can talk to you about, and I'm hoping that by tomorrow you will be able to go through all the errors, knowing your error. If you know your error, immediately you read the transaction, you get to know the error that we are talking about, and then when you know this, the work will be what? Easy for you. So please, for just tomorrow, learn the errors for me. Just tomorrow, learn the errors for me, and I'm hoping for the best. I hope that when this question comes, we will crack it, and when a similar question will also come, we are going to crack it. I wish you all the best in your exams. Thank you very much. Bye.